We have another question from Gerardo, and I'm going to take you off mute here. Hey, Gerardo.
Hi, how you guys doing? Thanks a lot for
Good.
the webinar. Very
Yeah, thanks for
informative.
joining us.
I have about 6 questions. Going back to the New Mexico LLC, what's the time turnaround on a New Mexico LLC? What's the setup cost of the LLC? What's the annual maintenance cost of it? And how do you pick your agent of record?
Sure, great questions. I'll answer those here for you, and it's also on the website as well. But I'll give you the quick answer for everyone as well. The LLC price on it is uh, you can get the total asset protection kit on our website with $695. So that includes the LLC. And the LLC also comes with 3 years prepaid registered agent service. So typically that runs $100 a year. Registered agent services. Anytime you get an LLC set up in a state, that state wants you to have a registered agent. And so if you don't physically live in that state, then you have to hire someone to be your registered agent, and it runs about $100 a year. But our LLC comes with 3 years prepaid. So starting in the fourth year, your ongoing cost would be $100 a year for that LLC. So that's the only ongoing cost you'll have for that. Now, what was the other?
The
Let me
turnaround
back up.
time.
Turnaround time. Okay, let me finish on price though. If you don't want to get the full asset protection toolkit, you could buy the LLC separately, and that runs $399, so basically $400. Um, if you do become a member and get the full toolkit for $695, what that enables you to do is buy. It'll give you wholesale pricing on any additional LLCs you buy. So instead of paying $399, your cost as a member would only be $299, and so you can buy as many as you want as a member, and you can resell them to other people if you wanted to. Mark them up and be a reseller for us. That you're more than welcome to do that. So turnaround time, New Mexico is a little slow. Um, just regular processing time is about 3 to 4 weeks to set up and complete it and send you your paperwork. But if you're in a hurry, you have a couple of options. New Mexico has what they call an expedite service, and for an extra $125, they'll guarantee a turnaround time within 10 days, and that's 10 calendar days to your mailbox from the time you order it. So it's a 10-day turnaround. Or we frequently have preformed companies that they're also called shelf companies. They're preformed companies that are already named, they're unused, and they're just sitting on a shelf ready for sale. And we charge $499 for those. And I'm a little low on those right now, but I do have some more coming in the next week. And so if you do want to look at that option, you can always just email me on the website at keepyourassets.net and see what I have available, and I can send you the names that I have and prices. And then if you want one of those, you can just buy one right off the shelf.
Great. That's good. So those are good answers. One question I had with regards to Bitcoin was the intrinsic value of Bitcoin. I would imagine fluctuates with the market. What does the market peg it to? Does it peg it to
Okay.
some sort of precious metal or some sort of currency, some sort of index?
Great. I love this question. I'm glad you asked that because the concept of intrinsic value is an error in the way of looking at it, and it's a common error that we all make. And um, objects or commodities or anything that exists does not have value in and of itself. It doesn't have intrinsic or built-in value. The value is a result of humans valuing those objects. So things have value only because people value them. I guess that's another way of looking at it. So so one of the arguments that I had when I first heard about Bitcoin, I'm a longtime gold bug, and the reason I rejected it is when I looked at the info on it, I thought, oh, this isn't backed by anything. There's no gold behind it, because I was one of those guys who was into e-gold when it came out 10, 15 years ago, and I watched that rise and fall and crash and burn. But I was used to digital currencies being backed by gold or silver, and so I discarded Bitcoin because I was I didn't really think it through, and when I saw that there was no gold or silver backing it, I discarded it. But the thing is that a lot of people think, okay, it has to be backed by something. Well, it doesn't. Just like gold or silver isn't backed by anything, gold and silver are valued because of what they are, what they enable you to do, the uses that it has, and and so people value it for that. So gold and silver are commodities that have characteristics that make people want them. You know, people value them. And so value is subjective, and so different people value different things at different times for different amounts. Um, Bitcoin is a new commodity created to serve market demand for a better medium of exchange. So Bitcoin in and of itself has unique characteristics that cause people to want them. People value them. And so when they want them, they're willing to trade other commodities, other assets that they have for that Bitcoin. And so what happens is there's a bid and ask, an offer and acceptance that's always going on in the marketplace. And so the price naturally arises out of these thousands of individual bids and asks, you know, what people are willing to pay and people are willing to sell them for. And so it's basically the free market that determines what the value is. So if the majority of people feel that it's undervalued, they're going to bid up the price and try and accumulate more. If the majority of the people feel that they're overvalued, they're going to sell them at a discount. So in this informal market around the globe, prices develop, and in most people look to the big major exchanges. There's one in Tokyo called Mt. Gox, does about $500,000 in volume a day in trades, and the current price on that exchange is I think a little over $14 a Bitcoin. So that's what people are willing to pay for it, and that's what gives it its value. It's just different people bidding for it, and right now people seem to think that it's worth more. So the price is continuing to rise like it has over the last several years. So I don't know if that's a long answer to a short question.
That's actually a very good. That's a very good answer. Thanks a lot. So, what has been the low and the high in the last 52 weeks with Bitcoin?
Okay, 52 weeks. If you'll remember the chart on in my presentation as we're talking, I'm scrolling back to it. The low was just over $5 a year ago about this time, and the high is right now at 14 and 25 cents or something like that.
Great, thanks.
And so
thanks a lot. It's been very informative. Thanks a lot, guys, for having us.
Great. Thanks, Gerardo.
You bet. So I just put that chart up on the screen. So okay. Any other questions, anybody?
Doesn't look like it. And we're coming up on almost 2 hours here. We've been going.
All right. Okay. Well, I'll just finish with my story that I've been promising to y'all. It's just a short story, but it's the short story of the $100,000 pizza, or in today's dollars, it's the $140,000 pizza. And this story started a little bit, gosh, about 3 years ago. And it's when Bitcoin was still very small in its infancy. And there really wasn't much market value for them at the time. And so it was at a time where your personal computer had enough computing power that you could mine these on your own and you can accumulate some. And so some of these early adopters, by just letting their computer run all day, they could generate Bitcoins, because the way they're created, I won't go into detail, but Bitcoins are mined, and that's how they're introduced into forums just put out a request. He said, hey, if anybody will order a pizza and have it delivered to my door, I'll pay you these 10,000 Bitcoins. And so some guy from halfway around the world said, I'll do it. And using his credit card, he called up the local pizza place and paid for an order and told them where to deliver it and everything. And the guy who received the pizza sent over 10,000 Bitcoins to the guy. If that guy sat on those Bitcoins just in the last 3 years, today they'd be worth over $140,000. And I predict we'll see similar stories in the next 3 to 4 years. For those of you who accept payment for your products and services in Bitcoin, I would try and hang on to as many as you could, and only spend what you have to, because I think the value is going to continue to go up. You think about it, the global economy is trillions of dollars. And right now, Bitcoin, there's only $145 million invested in Bitcoin now. So we're not even a fraction of the global economy. But as this global economy learns the value of Bitcoin, you're going to see a continued influx of money into Bitcoin, and it's going to bid up prices. And I wouldn't be surprised. I could be totally wrong, and it could disappear tomorrow. I don't think it will, but there's potential here to where each Bitcoin could be worth thousands and thousands of dollars in the future. So it's very interesting times. Don't put all your money in it, of course, but I'm following the Austrian investor perfect portfolio. I've got a third in gold, a third in silver, and a third in Bitcoin, and I love it when people pay me in Bitcoin. Because I try and hang on to as much of it as I can. So with that said, thank you guys. Don't forget to use the invitation code FreedomLovin. And if you like anything on those sites, let me know. I'm available by Skype or phone. I can help you with any personal situations, and I'll do my best to help you out. So hope you found it valuable. And if you have any feedback for me or suggestions or comments, please send them to me. If you saw something that I messed up in here or I didn't get quite right, please let me know, and we can learn from each other. So thanks again for having me on, Kevin, and I'll turn it back over to you.
Cool. Thanks, Steve. That was awesome. And thanks everybody for coming on. I know a lot of you came in pretty early in the morning, so appreciate you getting up and being on the call. So yeah, if you're in the forums there on the Dynamite Circle, look me up and shoot me a note. And if you're going to be in Saigon at the second half of January, I will be there. So let's hang out. So I think that's it. So everybody have a good morning or a good evening wherever you are, and we'll keep this going.